Hey guys, this is day 9, right? So yesterday we have completed till 62. So today let's move on to 63. Okay. So yeah, it's loading. So let's take this preview and keep it in the right side as usual. Okay, now it's better, right? So yeah, that's looking better. Yeah, but bottom edge of the green marker needs to be darker to add little more dimension. Okay, the same linear graph function add an X code with the value level red, green and blue as a third color coloring range. Okay, right, we are telling to add a little color to the bottom of the green color because it's looking somewhat brighter, right? So let's add it. So comma, so X hash level 6C31. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Let's check it. Yeah, that's right. Let's move on. Okay, even without the color stops, you might have noticed that the colors for the green marker transition are the same points as the red marker. Oh yes, you can see the same green and red as same points. Even it doesn't write the percentage. You can see right here percentage. We doesn't write percentage for the green, right? So yeah, what is they telling you is this is the same as this. So defaultly this is the value for the linear gradient values. Okay, so this is the first color takes 0%, starts from 0%, and the middle value takes 50%, and the end value takes 100%. Okay, so it is automatically calculated, okay, for you. Okay, so they are just telling to remove this. So let's remove it. Okay, I remove it. So okay, I remove it for this, and for finally 100. Okay, so let's check our code. Okay, so this is step 65. If gradient direction, yeah, you can see a gradient direction 180 degree. So you take 180 degree, right? So what they're telling is the 180 degree is by default. Okay, when we don't write this line, it's defaultly take the degree as 180 degree. So let's clean up by removing this direction. So yeah, for year 2, check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay, now you will apply gradient to the blue markers. This time using the SSL function. Okay, so take this dot blue, change the background color to background. Okay, let's change. Let's check. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. So use linear gradient function and pass in HL okay, with the values 180, 186, sorry, 186 and 76%, and at last 16%. Okay, so let's check it. They are trying to change. Oh my god, I forgot to line the linear gradient itself, so sorry for that. Let's copy it, paste it, open bracket, and let's close it. So now let's check our code. It's right. Let's move on. Has a second color argument, pass in the HSL function with the values 2, 2, 3 and use 90%, 60% lightness. Okay, they are telling to change the second color as. So you can see there is still, we can't see because the linear grid has wants a minimum of at least 2 colors, right? So let's add the second color with the 2, 2, 3, comma 90%, comma 60%. Okay, let's check our code. Control plus enter. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Now we can, our marker is visible, right? Yeah, so and the third color passes the HSL with the, so let's add another color. So with HSL of 240 comma 56 comma 42 percentage. Okay, so let's control enter. Yeah, it's right. So the last 3 color has been applied, right? You can see here. Let's zoom in to you so you can view clearly. I think this is clear, right? Let's take a bigger view, right? Now that the markers have correct colors, it's time to build the marker sleeves. Start with the red color. So let's make a sleeves. Okay, so inside the red marker div, create a new div element and give a class sleeve. So they are telling to create another div with the class equal to sleeve. Okay, let's close the div. So let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay, so let's add the style this is sleeve class. Okay, so the width of this sleeve class is 110 pixel, and with the height of 25 pixel. Okay, so let's check our code. Yeah, it runs right. So since it's not a color, it doesn't visible here. So let's have a background color to white, right? Okay, so let's check our code. Control enter. Yeah, you can see they become invisible. Sorry, it's turned into black. Sorry, white. So you can see 110 pixel has turned into white. Okay, yeah. So opacity describes how opaque or non-transparent. Okay, so opacity means you can see it's a 1% opacity. Okay, so with 0% opacity it is invisible. Okay, so this is the difference between opacity. It starts from 0 and ends with 1. 1 means completely visible, 0 means it is not visible. Okay, so let's add an opacity of 0.5. so let's check. Yeah, you can see it's visible off and invisible off. Okay, so that is the meaning of 0.5. 50-50. Okay, another way to set property of opacity is the alpha channel, how transparent or opaque. Okay, so okay, they are telling you can also use using alpha, that is using color, right? So let's check it. Control enter. Yeah, let's remove it first. So let's add an alpha. This is the syntax for the RGBA, which is alpha value, right? So in the previous sections we have seen RGB. So A stands for alpha. Same, we can have a minimum value of 0 and maximum value of 1. Okay, so they're telling to change the background color to RGB function, but takes 1 or more 0 for alpha channel. So use RGBA function to set the background color to pure white with 50%. Okay, they are telling to change to RGBA with pure white, means it's fully to maximum value number of 255. So let's have it to 0.5. so 50% opacity. Okay, you can see same output is displayed. Okay, so let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Your sleeve is looking good, but it would look even better if it was positioned more towards the right side of the marker. That is right side, right? So one way to do that is add another div before the sleeve to push it to right. Add a div with the class cap and the sleeve div before the sleeve. Okay, so that will bring us to add another div with the class have cap. Okay, so yeah, let's close the div. Okay, let's check our code. Yeah, it's right, nothing is visible. Let's type the class cap. Okay, so yeah, dot cap. So in new rule, set width to 60 pixel. Okay, let's have a 60 pixel width. Okay, with the height of 25 pixels. Okay, yeah, so let's enter. Yeah, so okay, it looks like your sleeve disappeared, but don't worry, it's still there. What happened is the new cap div taking up the entire width of the marker and is pushed the sleeve down to the next line. So next line pushes to next line. We can't see it here. So yeah, entire width of the marker pushing the sleeve down to next line. This is because by default display property div isn't block. Okay, so yeah, div isn't block element. So this is taken by the entire div, the first div cap. So the second is just forces to next line. Okay, so yeah, so to position two divs in the same line, display property to inline. So let's target both the classes dot cap and dot sleeve with the display property as inline block. Okay, so let's check our code. Yeah, it's right, you can see it's become same, right? Yeah, so in last project you have learned a little bit about borders. Yeah, we know about border colors, everything. So add and border left with the 10 pixel. Okay, let's add and border left with border left width of 10 pixel. All right, okay, let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay, so we have added the border, but still we can't see. So let's give first the border style, right? Border style, sorry, border left style. It has many types. So right now we are just seeing solid, right? So you can see solid border has been visible. Okay, so yeah, let's check our code. It also have dotted, dashed and something like that. So your border should be visible now. If no color is set, black is usually default. Okay, we doesn't have a color, so it's defaultly black, representing black color. Okay, so let's add a border left border color with the black, right? So it's default, still we writing the color. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. The border left shorten property is Okay, style color, okay. So they are telling us to, instead of doing this all stuff, they are telling us to do border left space, the size 10 pixel, and the style solid, and with the color black. Okay, so yeah, black. So still our all three lines replaced by a single line, right? You can see same output is displayed. Okay, your marker is looking good, but to make it look even more realistic, you can change the border style to double solid borders. Okay, double solid borders. Change the border style to solid to double. They are telling to change this solid to double. So you can see it is double. So it's pretty look like a real marker, right? So you can see. Okay. So the black color of the border looks pretty harsh against the more transparent sleeve. You can use alpha channel to lower the opacity. So they are telling to change this, delete this black. Okay, so and use RGBA with the color of black, right? So 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0.5. So let's check our code. It's 50% transparent, but still there is an error. So we are telling RGBA, so it's 75% opacity, right? So 75. So let's check our code now. So yeah, it's visible, right? Pretty well. Okay, awesome. Your red marker is looking good. Now I'll need to the add caps and sleeve to other markers. Add cap and sleeve to both green and blue markers. You can just copy div and paste the two markers. Okay, that's right. So let's copy it, Control C and paste, and let's bottom and paste. Okay, so let's check our code. It's right. You can see it's like pretty good like a marker, right? Okay. So yeah, the last thing you will do is add a slight shadow to each marker. So looking so realistic. Okay, so they're telling to add shadow, that is box shadow, offset X, offset Y, and color. Okay. So offset X, both offset X and offset Y accept number values in pixel and other units. Okay, it's just meaning of X stands for in x-axis, right, and Y stands for y-axis. Okay, so let's give any shadow. So it's positive moves on right side and negative moves on left side for both the thing. So for Y, the shadow down, positive means it goes down, negative means it goes up, right? Okay, so let's, without any further waiting for the demo, let's get started, right? So let's add a box shadow. Okay, I added the box shadow. So with the 5 pixel of x-axis and again a 5 pixel of y-axis with the color red. Yeah, you can see now the shadow has been applied. Okay, so to learn more, you can see x-axis, right? So I take 50, so it moves to right side, so you can't see. So wait, sorry. Okay, you can see, sorry, it's my mistake. So 50 pixel, you can see 50 pixel from the starting to here, you can see, right? So when I put 500, it's totally disappear because it goes till the right side. Okay, so let's remove it. Let's come back to 5. When I put 50, 500, sorry, 50, you can see it goes down. When I put minus 50, it goes up. You can see clearly here. Okay, so yeah, that's all for X and Y. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, as you see, you added a simple red shadow around your marker. That's 5 pixel to the right and 5 pixel down. You can see 5 pixel to the right and 5 pixel down. Okay, so but what it wanted to position your shadow to the opposite side, you can use the negative values. Yeah, we are used right now. Yeah, so they are telling to just add a negative sign so you can learn better about the box shadow, right? So you can see it's looking opposite to the previous one, right? Yeah, so notice that the edge of the shadow are sharps. So they are telling to add another value or attribute, that is blur radius. Okay, so blur radius means which the value blur radius defines the opacity of the or the thickness of the color. Okay, so then let's add a box shadow with the 5 pixel of offset x-axis, 5 pixel of y-axis, and with the blur radius of 5 pixel and with the color green. So yeah, you can see the difference now. Wait, sorry, it's my mistake. I have invalidly entered comma. Okay, so you can see this is a solid sharp edge, right? So but in the bottom, well, I zoom in, you can see now, you can see this is a sharp edge. Okay, so but here the blur radius is 5. Okay, so it's just mixing the color. Okay, so let's 50 means it's so darker, so it's giving the color to its outer side, you can see clearly. So yeah, that's the difference between this. So it's blurring, it's this value defines the blurriness of the thing. Okay, so yeah, spread radius. So spread radius defines how many colors that should be spreaded. Okay, so yeah, so let's add another thing, that is box shadow with the color of 5 pixel again, and with the another, sorry, this time not 5 pixel, they are telling to add 0 0 and blur radius also 0 and 5 pixel of spread radius with the color blue. Okay, yeah, this is the thing called, so spread radius is 5 pixel, right? So it doesn't define anything here, so that's just taking the complete border. Okay, yeah. Okay, notice that you're familiar with the box shadow property. You can finalize these shadows starting with the one red. So update the values of box shadow, offset of x to 0. So let's turn to 0 and again y to 0. Okay, and blur radius of 20 pixel with the spread radius of 0 and color of red. Okay, so okay, so you can see this has been updated, so realistic color. Okay, so next let's update the second one. So replace the color of this red to RGBA, so that it looks so realistic. So 83 comma 14 comma 14 with the opacity of 0.8. so now it's looking similar to a realistic. Okay, so this slightly a black color variant for it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the shadows for your green and blue color will have the same position blur. Okay, so blur position spread. Okay, so one day difference is the color. So in the green blue, update the values of box shadow to 0 0 20 0. Okay, so they just telling to change 0 0 20 pixel and 0. So similarly here 0 20 pixel 0. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. Okay, that's right. Okay, for the green marker box shadow property, replace the named color with the X. Okay, so they are telling to change this color to X and 3B 7E 20 blue and CC for alpha. So you can see it has been applied. Okay, so next move on. Next, it's loading. Yeah, okay, so finally the blue marker with the box shadow HLC. So let's use HLC. So HSLA. Okay, so open bracket with 223 comma 59% comma 31% and with the alpha value of 0.8 inch with semicolon. So let's check. Yeah, it's right. With this our CSS 3D marker has been completed. Okay, so yeah, you can see now. Let's begin off the shadow. Okay, so you can see we completed this 94. So we have completed this learn CSS by building a set of colored markers, right? So by tomorrow let's move on to learn HTML by building a register form. Okay, so you can use the form. Yeah, this is the stuff you can see, right? So it's just 65 steps. So we have to complete a form for the certification project. You can see here clearly. So this is the stuff. So let's get started. Okay, so it's just a form. So we know a little bit of form. We have built in cat for tab, right? So yeah, this is the register form. You can see clearly. So this is similar to our final project, right? Yeah. So okay, let's start coding. Okay, let's see. I think it's new, right? So let's start by tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, so let's start by tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, this is step 1, new exercise. I think like by tomorrow we can start it. So yeah, without any further ado, let's end this 12th section. Okay, so enjoy coding, happy coding, see you tomorrow.